I'm running a little behind. I had technical difficulties again. My cords aren't working. Ready to sell my stock in Apple. I don't own stock in Apple, but if I did, for some reason, things aren't working. But I think they're working now. Can you hear me, Kathy? If you can hear me, say hello. We're having thunderstorms down here, so I don't know if maybe that had something to do with it. Hi, Kathy. Can you hear me, Kathy? Are you all getting the bad storms up there? Hi, Stacy. It kind of flew through here, and then the sun came out again, and now it looks like it's getting ready to storm again. So I hope that doesn't affect my... sorry, I have terrible allergies. My goodness. Oh, good. Kathy can hear me. You guys are on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, looks like Stacy's on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, let me know if you can hear me and everything's going okay, and I apologize. I am back on the Zyrtec D for everything's blooming around here, and we've had our windows open because the weather has been so fantastic. I mean, even it's stormy today, but it's just spring is here finally. I'm so happy. It makes me so happy. I'm sorry. I should have blown my nose before I came on. Okay, today for Make It Monday, we're just going to make a quick little bag, and I need to add some kind of embellishment. So maybe by the time we're done with today's stream, I'll think of something to add to this. Maybe a little heart die cut or punch. Anyway, this is the bag. It's a pretty big size. It's like 3 3/4 wide and 2 inches, maybe 3 3/4 long and 2 inches deep, and it's about tall, 3.5 inches tall. So it's a pretty good sized bag. I thought it would be great for a gift card, jewelry, maybe you know, some of that fancy soap. We've got this little store here called Buff City, and they sell the fancy soaps and shower balms and things like that. And maybe one of those little things would fit in here. And my belly band doesn't want to go back on, but we're going to make it. That's how I made the little belly band to keep the bag closed. And I thought I'd use up some of this retiring paper that's going away. I think it's adorable with the little bicycles and the little flower baskets. So I thought I'd use that for today's project. Gosh, I'm so sorry. My nose has just started running. Okay, so to make this size of bag, you need a piece of 12 by 6 inch designer series paper, and pay attention to the direction. So since this has a direction, I wouldn't want to cut it this way because then my bicycles wouldn't be in the right landscape. So you know, if your paper doesn't have direction, it wouldn't matter. So you can make 2 of these bags out of 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper. And then I'm going to use my Simply Scored tool just because I can. But you could also use your paper trimmer, however you make your score lines. And I'm going to turn this over just so you can maybe see better. And on the 12-inch side, we're going to score it at, I'm going to look at my cheat sheet here, 3 3/4, and then 5 3/4, and then 9 1/2, and then 11 1/2. And then we're going to turn it 90 degrees and 1 1/4. And then I'm going to turn it another, whatever, 180. I want a 1 1/4 section on each edge, because one's going to be the top and one's going to be the bottom of the bag. And it's just easier for me to do it that way. And I will have all of these measurements over on my blog later today, along with today's replay. So no worries about that. Now we're going to do some trimming, and to help with that, it's always easier to see the lines if you go ahead and just fold on all the score lines and burnish them with your bone folder. I'm not going to be too rough because I don't want to tear those folds. Tear the paper. And then we've got these two, one at the top and one at the bottom. I love this paper. It's so cute. Okay, so you're going to end up with this 1/2 inch tab on one end, and we're going to trim that. I'm going to trim these little 1/2 inch by 1 1/4 inch panels, or tabs, or whatever you want to call them, off the top and the bottom. I'm going to move my ink. I've got some ink up there we're going to use in a minute. I don't want to get black ink on here. Hope you're all doing good, and hope you all had a good Easter holiday. We had a beautiful day yesterday here in Kansas City. Had some family over and had the traditional ham, potato casserole. Okay, so there's our little 1/2 inch tab. We cut that off and that off, and I'll put a diagram on my blog as well that will kind of help show you, or a little cheat sheet. Now, determine your bottom, your top, and your bottom. This is our bottom because we want our bicycles to not be upside down. So this is going to be our bottom. And we're going to cut on these score lines. I got to turn it over so I can see. Just to this 1 1/4 score line that we made. They're just so hard to see. There we go. I do need to make an appointment with my optometrist. That could be part of the problem. I am having trouble seeing. Okay, these are going to be our bottom tabs, so I'm going to just do a little trim on the edges of these smaller tabs. These are the sides of the bag, and it just will help the bag to kind of square up. Doesn't want to cut where I want it to cut. There we go. This, by doing so, it'll help everything square up at the bottom. See how nice and square the bottom is? And when you trim them a little bit like this, it just helps. I don't know what it does. It's magic. But when I don't trim, I don't have as much success. So it does help. Okay, so this is our bottom. And then this is completely optional. But I'm going to be a little fancy, and I don't know if you can tell, but I rounded the edges of those bottom tabs. So even the bottom of our bag looks kind of finished. I don't think anybody would notice if you didn't round the edges, but it's just an added little touch that kind of finishes it off a little bit nicer. I'm using an old retired corner rounder. Just because it's quick and easy. Okay, now on the top, you can see on my bag, we've got this little flap lid. We're going to cut off all of this except for one of the little panels. And how I determine which one I want is, this is how our bag is going to go together. We're going to put some adhesive on that little 1/2 inch tab. So I want this to be the back. So I want this tab right here to be my fold over lid or flap, bag flap or whatever. I have such a good vocabulary, don't I? So I'm just going to cut on that score line, that fold line, just to our 1 1/4 line, and then we're going to cut all of this off. And we can use some scissors, or I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to cut that whole thing off. So when you're done, it's going to look like this. Kathy says the kids came over for brunch. Henry loved playing in the backyard. Wasn't that, it was just such a beautiful day. Bruce poop scooped so we could have our egg hunt. And it was just so nice. We sat on our back porch, and yeah, it was so fun to be outside yesterday, wasn't it? Okay, here's our front flap. I'm going to go ahead and round those corners as well. So when we fold that over, it's going to look nice and finished as well. Okay, this is where we're going to add our adhesive, this little flap, tab. And I'm going to use just our tear and tape adhesive. Kathy, I saw that you and Loopy and Sue are coming next week, a week from Thursday, to my card class, my April card party. I'm so happy. Haven't seen you girls in ages. Okay, if you are local to Kansas City, I have monthly in-person card classes, and my next one is a week from this Thursday. It'll be on the 20th, April 20th. I have an afternoon class and an evening class. So if you're working during the day, you can come to the evening one. And I'm kind of doing a edited version. We normally make 5 cards, but my schedule has just been so out of whack, and I thought it would be easy for you guys too. We're just going to make 3 cards. They're going to be beautiful. I'll be posting those this week, and we just have a great time. You'll get a party favor. I'll have nice refreshments. We just have a good time. So if you're in the Kansas City area, go to my blog, theplaidpoodle.com, and you can get all the information for that. Okay, if you'll notice, I put the adhesive on that tab so you can see how our bag is coming together. Now we're going to add some adhesive to these bottom tabs. So I'm going to go like this just to make it easier. And you could use some liquid, multi-purpose liquid glue, or just use a strong adhesive. All right, and then our front, I want my front tab to go forward like this, so I'm going to put a little adhesive right, let's do this. Oh gosh, did you guys hear my refrigerator out in the other room go crazy? I don't know if you heard it, but I think the ice maker just filled. Okay, so there we go. So I've got adhesive on both of these side tabs and then on the inside of the front flap. Stephanie says, depends on your idea of fun. Hubby and I were hauling brush, cutting more limbs and branches, and burning everything till 8 p.m. Then we had Easter pizza. Hey, I love pizza. But you worked hard, girl. Yeah, spring means a lot of yard work, doesn't it? We went to church, and we came home, and everyone came over, and we just had a simple, throw the ham in the oven, and I always do the hash brown potato casserole. The Mr. Del, that's on the back of the Mr. Del's package. That's kind of my go-to Easter meal. I'm not really a fan of ham, but it's easy. Okay, then I'm going to take my bone folder and just kind of press everything down so it all sticks really well. Now, if you were going to put something, you know, substantial in here, or you wanted to have a little bit more oomph to it, you could put a little piece of cardstock in the bottom of your bag to add some support. It would measure, I didn't do that, but you could do that. I would do like 3 and maybe 5/8 by 1 7/8 piece of scrap cardstock. Just put in the bottom, and that would give your bag a little bit more oomph. Okay, now to close the bag, see how I'm just gently kind of folding that? And then I'm going to kind of coach it along here with my fingers. And then when we put the belly band on, it will really hold it in place. Stephanie thought she was the only non-ham fan. My family makes fun of me because I pour a glob of applesauce on my plate to eat with it. I'm sorry, Stephanie, but that sounds really gross. But I bet it's good because sweet things, you know, ham usually has that honey glaze on it. So yeah, ham goes well with sweet things. But yeah, I ate it, but it's not my fave. Okay, so there's our little flapper. And then to close it, we're going to make the little belly band, and that is 1 1/4 by 12. So I just cut another coordinating piece from this paper, which is, I should have told you guys that at the beginning, and I didn't check to see if this paper is still available. It's out of the mini catalog, and you know how everything's kind of going away. It's the Country Floral Lane 12 by 12 inch designer series paper is what I'm using. And I'll have a list of products in the description below, as well as on my blog too. Okay, so I'm going to make this belly band, and I'm going to have it adhere to itself on the bottom of the bag so that my, normally I would just adhere it together behind the tag, but I want my hearts to be all upright, and if I brought it around front, the ones on the bottom of the tag would be upside down. If your belly band doesn't have any pattern direction, it wouldn't matter. And then I'm just going to gently fold it around these edges, around the bottom, and then the top, and again around the bottom. You don't want it to be too tight because you guys saw I had a little trouble getting this one back on, but you don't want it to be too loose. And the more you take it on and off, kind of the looser it gets. So just kind of feel your way. Alrighty, and I'm going to just trim a little bit off. And then all you have to do, I'm going to cut that straight because that will bother me, is put another piece of adhesive, any kind of adhesive. I'm using tear and tape. Ham and apple slice is the only way you can eat ham or lamb. Yeah, I don't know that I would eat lamb either. I've had it before, but it's not something I would probably purchase for myself or prepare. The resort we stayed at last week when I was out of town, they had several different types of restaurants. They had a Mexican restaurant, they had an Italian, they had a seafood, and they had a French. So the last night we decided to try the French restaurant. And we decided we're not French food people. We are just not that bougie. I'm sorry. I had a Niçoise salad. Is that how you say it? And it was okay. And then I chose something that had pork chop in the name, and it did not look like any pork chops we make here in Kansas City. I guess my husband and my taste are very simple. We're just very simple people. But it was very elegant, and that's why we chose it. All the other restaurants at the resort, you could wear, shorts and things like that. But at the French restaurant, the men had to wear long pants and closed-toed shoes. They couldn't wear their flip-flops. So we thought, well, it's the last night. Let's go there. And it was very nice. So, but the food, okay, for the sentiment, I loved this little "for a special person on a special day" from the framed floret. So that's the one I used. And the stamp set is still available. It's retiring soon. And the coordinating dies, I could not find them. So I'm not sure that the dies are still available. But I loved the font on this set, and I loved that, and I thought it fit perfectly for my little tag, so that's why I chose that. And I'm just using some black Memento ink, and I cut 2 circles, one from Balmy Blue and one from Basic White, using the Stylish Shapes dies. I used this circle and this circle. So the third and fourth largest from the largest stitch circle shapes. I didn't want to cover up that beautiful paper, those little bicycles. So I didn't want my tag to be too big. There we go. Stephanie said that they went to a restaurant called Bernie's Backyard. We were in shorts and flip-flops, Florida attire. It was fancy. It was in the same shopping center next door to a 7-Eleven. Go figure. Hey, that's all you wear in Florida. Well, and that's all the other restaurants you could wear, casual wear. I think they wanted you to wear a swimsuit cover-up if you were going to dinner. They didn't want you to wear your swimsuit in there. But there were, at lunchtime you could basically wear anything where we were at. Okay. Then I put the sentiment up on Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I'm just going to glue that to the belly band, the whole thing. And I think as long as I've got this stamp set here, let's add that for our embellishment. Loopy, I love this paper too. I have several packages, so that I didn't feel bad about cutting one 12 by 12 in half to make these bags. And these will be awesome for anything. Like I said, I think a gift card would fit in here nicely. Put a little filler, the fluffy stuff, with a gift card and maybe a couple of chocolates. It would be a nice size for that. Okay, so since we've got this stamp set out, let's go ahead and take one of the flowers. I don't know if I want this size or the smaller size. I think the smaller size. Thank you, Mary. These are really fun and easy to make. And if you just leave them flat before you put them together, you can kind of make up a few. And like if you have some extra DSP laying around, make up a few and just leave them flat. And then when you have an opportunity or you need a gift for something, you have a little packaging for that. Okay, I'm going to use that die, and like I said, I think the dies might be sold out. If you're a demonstrator on here and you know, are the fancy floret dies sold out? I tried to find them and I couldn't find them, but I did find the stamp set. All right, the colors that go with this paper, I think are real red. So I think I'm going to do a real red. Oh, it's sweet sorbet. So I'm going to do, wait a minute. Well, it doesn't say. Yes, sweet sorbet. So I'm going to do my flower and sweet sorbet. So I will be right back. It's right across the room. Okay, I'm back. Just turn the camera off because I'm not sure what you can see, and this place is a wreck. I have a planner and I put my top 3 things every day. Does anybody else make lists for the day? What am I looking for this? I try and put, if I can get these 3 things done today, I will be happy. And one of my 3 things was this. This is my number 1 thing. Oh, isn't that cute? I wonder if I need more than one. And then the second thing is to clean my room here. Stephanie makes lists, or else she sits on her iPad. It just helps me stay focused because I have, I don't know what kind of brain I have. I just have an odd brain. I have a hard time. I'm not, I don't know. You know, in my real life, I was administrative type work and I kept other people organized, and it seems like I can't keep myself organized. So I just think my brain has deteriorated. All right, we're going to die cut this out real quick, and I don't see my mini, so I'm going to grab my big one. Move everything out of the way. I think my mini is in the other room. It would have been a little bit better for this purpose, but it works. All right, there's my little flower. And I'm going to just, I think I'm just going to sit it right there at the bottom or right there. I think I'm going to put it right there where that little open spot is, right here. Ooh, that's a lot of glue. Just to give it a little something. Yes, Stephanie, that's what I was looking for, the dies. I thought the dies. I did find this stamp set, and it is still available. But the coordinating dies, yep, I thought they were gone. Such a pretty set. So congratulations to all of you who got it. Okay, that's the project, girls. I will add, I'll add a flower to this one too when I get off today. And then, like I said, all the measurements, the scoring, I'll do a diagram to kind of show. Sometimes it's better to see it visually if where to put your score lines and your trimming. I'll try and do a diagram on my blog post too. I'll do that right now as soon as I sign off, and then you can go there later today and if you'd like to make one of these bags yourself with whatever supplies or products that you own. You just need a 12 by 6 inch piece of designer series paper for each bag. So, and then the belly band is a 12-inch by 1 1/4. So, I think they're so fun. I'll keep these around, and might be fun to put a little Mother's Day. I'm thinking I like to give my little daughter and daughter-in-law a little something for Mother's Day because they're such awesome moms to my grandkids. So maybe I'll give them all a little coffee card inside one of these for Mother's Day. So, because that's coming up in a little bit. It'll be here before we know it. So, thanks for joining me. Thanks for commenting. I love to chat with you guys. It's good to see you. And I will be back Wednesday. Wednesday for Copy and a Card. We'll make a card. I've been looking at some, I've got a really cute one planned. I don't know that it's a fun fold, but it has layers. So I think it'll be fun. So anyway. Stephanie may make one for her baby is due this week. Yes, yes. Congratulations. All right, guys. Happy stamping. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.